Hope you got some. Come on, Hope. Come on, Hope.
Everybody need a little hope.
Hey.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all.
Talk about the black church, Hope. The black church.
This topic really, it doesn't sit well with me. It vexes my soul. When it comes to Black Lives Matter, I'm black. I am a person. Before I'm black, I'm a human being. And we're taught humanity. So if I see Jacob get shot down in the middle of the street, my humanity says he is a person. Help him. Reach out. Touch him. Do something. Call the police. But it vexes me when these same people that asked me to care about Lil Trayvon, when the same people who asked me to care about Lil Mike look at me and say, if you die, you deserve it, it bothers me. That's not Black Lives Matter. That's an agenda. That's an agenda. What really upsets me is the fact that some people, and this is not shade, but some gay people will protect that. But would they protect you? I have a problem with that. If we got shot down, if we all rallied up together and went out there and marched in the neighborhoods that tell us that we are nothing, that tell us that we don't go anywhere, that tell us that we are worth less than life itself, and we all got gunned down in the street, guess how many news stations will put it on? No. Guess how many people would report it?
Me. Trust.
And guess how many news media outlets would cover that? None. CNN don't give no coverage, and when they do, guess what it does? It rolls across the bottom of the screen and people don't read it. That makes absolutely no sense. The black church, they want us to come. They want us to come and teach their little girls how to liturgical dance. They want us to come and teach these people how to harmonize in the choir. But let you get up there and really try to preach to a group of people that come from the backwoods of Bama and tell them something about the God. They don't want to hear that, because as far as they're concerned, everything that we are, everything that we're created from is the devil. And that's just it. There's no convincing them. So you can't tell me to support your Black Lives Matter movement. At this point, I personally have forsaken that movement. I have created my own voice. And I've created a voice that says, you know what? I support those that support me. I support the community that supports me. I support my brothers and my sisters and those people that give me a voice and a place to speak and a place to uplift. Because the black lives that matter don't include me. I don't have time to force my way into something that I was born into. It's my birthright because I'm black already. I don't have to go and tell you why my voice matters, because I'm black. And if Black Lives Matter, then my voice already matters. You've already created a subgroup. You've given me a space because Black Lives Matter. So don't take it away because my black life has boobs and, something that doesn't belong because it wasn't born onto me. You can't take away my blackness because you don't agree with my lifestyle. You can't take away my blackness because you don't understand my choices. You can't take away my blackness because you don't like me. And that is the problem that I have with Black Lives Matter. That is the problem that I have with black people who sit around and say that this is a movement that is being hindered by homosexual and trans people. When it was started by us. We created the love that you guys are supposedly spreading to everybody else, and now you're telling us that we can't celebrate in it? So it is okay for us to go to the front lines and march with you all when it's about one of y'all. But the second we ask them for help, when we ask them for funding, when we ask them for a little guidance into how to get our movements bigger outside of us, because it can't just be us. It can't just be us. There has to be a few brave souls that say, you know what, this is wrong. I don't care what he or she does, how he or she identifies, this is wrong. As a human being, as a black human being, looking at my black sister, not my black brother, not throwing shade and saying, well, God is going to deal. No, my sister, because that is what she told me she was. It is sad that as a black culture, if I walk in the room and I see a dog on the floor, and I say, oh, he is so cute, and you tell me, oh, no, that's a girl, I can identify with that right away. And I change my pronouns quickly. But if I look at Madison and I clock her T, even though I don't see a man. I don't see no man. But because I clocked her T and I know, it's okay for me to disrespect her as a black person. That's right. Why? We give more respect to a dog than we would to a person. And people don't want to talk about that. We can sit in this room and be politically correct all day. And we can sit up here and say, well, we got to create a voice. And we got to create our own. And we got to do this for ourselves. But guess what? They hold the keys. So we're creating, and we're moving, and we're blending, and we're picking up all of this stuff only to be told no at the end of it. Because they don't let us into spaces. And when we do get into those spaces, we look like you. And people like you want to stay in those spaces, and so they don't say anything. And so they sit back and they say, oh, well, you know, I'm about the LGBT movement and da-da-da-da-da. But when you get into the board meeting, you don't want to be outed or pushed out or whatever the case may be for being more gay than you are about what they have you doing. And so you say nothing. And it's not about you being a sellout. It's about you trying to survive. And we get that. But at what point do everybody get a chance to survive? You say we should go out there and press and talk to people. But then what happens is we become a target. Because now they know where we're going to be. They have a whole bullseye waiting for us to get there, and we're assassinated. One by one, they're picking us off either by their mental capacity, they're coming out there with physical force, or they're coming after us with every news station that they have to make the situation look worse than what it is. You said, what happens if the prancing elites come out there and do something? They have. They have. But guess what? It gets flipped into a story about how the queens came out to do a magical performance. And everybody gawked and laughed. It has nothing to do with the fact that they came out there to celebrate the fact that the gay people have created some new invention or some new thing that we have been doing in our community. It has nothing to do with that. It's everything to do with what they look like, who they are, where they come from, and they don't care about our voice. And then we're asked to continuously have one, and then we look like the angry, mad, black gay people when we say what we finally have to say after being oppressed. A lot of people say, Hope, you're long-winded. But when you're not giving a space or a time to say anything, when you finally get a chance to say something, when you finally get a chance to speak to your people, you own it. And I'm asking you guys to own it. When you get a space like this, when you get people to listen to you, when you finally get people to understand and people that are like-minded and people that want to move with you, use it. Don't feed them bullshit for the sake of being political.
Come on now.
Don't waste their time.
That's why I read and read and read and read. You see, I read and read and read
and read
and cuss and read. That's right.
It does not matter if they listen. You just need them to hear you.
But they listen, sis. You know they listen.
They do.
You know, I get on my videos sometimes and I just let go. I see an article about it, you know, and then they use terms like they try to degrade. Mm-hmm. Oh, porno, you know, she's the porno girl, the porno chick, this and the other. And that's why it ain't never stopped me. I continue to do it. And just like you said, when the issues come down, they look like them.
Right.
Handsome,
black
gay men. And they're gonna go ahead and accept, they're gonna accept that, you know? They're not gonna accept you and I, or Lawrence, or Derek J. They're not going to accept that. Well, they might now because they've been letting them on TV like that.
Yeah, but they let them on TV for money purposes.
Yeah, they
let them on TV for money. And that's another thing. It's so funny to me that a lot of the masculine affirming gay men in the community say, well, all these queens and all these people that don't look like me are on TV all the time. And I don't see nobody on TV that look like me. Well, let me tell y'all, just being real, you're boring. You're a gay man living a heterosexual lifestyle. Nobody cares.
That's right.
Nobody cares. That's why you're not on TV.
That's right.
And half the time, I'm sure there are 1,000 masculine affirming gay men that have been asked to go on those TV shows. Y'all know what y'all say? My business ain't nobody business. I ain't gonna do that.